things your brain differently. Let me ask you something honestly. Why does reading now feel heavy? When before now it used to be simple, it's feeling like pressure to you. Now, I'm going to be explaining to you 5 things that your brain does differently when it is doing pressure reading versus when it is doing pleasure reading. You are smart, you value growth, you buy books for a reason, yet somehow reading now feels like a task, not a joy, like a pressure, not pleasure. If reading feels like something you should do, but your brain constantly, quietly resists it, this live is for you. And before you go any further, let me say this, and I'm going to be saying this slowly. What is happening to you, if this is you that I just described now, it is not laziness, it is not lack of discipline, it is not because you don't value growth. The real issue is that your brain responds from the experience it had. So your brain responds differently to pleasure reading and pressure reading. And it's something that you need to know, you need to pay attention to, because guess what? Most professionals were never taught the difference. If we were taught the difference, then we would have carefully built a system for pressure reading and mastered it. So because we're not taught this difference, we kept on forcing our brain. Meanwhile, our brain kept on protecting itself. And that's the fight that is happening. That fight is what you now call, oh, I don't love reading. The result of that fight is now what you call, I'm too busy to read. The result of that fight is now what you call, you know what, reading is for children. Just leave it, I beg. I don't think I'm too busy for that fight. But the truth is, you see today, I want you to go and share this live with somebody. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Share this live with somebody that needs to hear this today. And Precious is here with us today. Hello, everybody. Hi. Go and share this live with somebody. Okay. Let me know that the network is better now. Is the network any better? I think we need to log out and log in and let's see if that works. Okay, I can be seen ahead clearly. Good, great. Now, today's conversation is about... Okay, you can see and hear me. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Chris. I can see you in the comment section. The truth is that I want to show you 5 things that play out when it is pleasure reading, when it is pressure reading. I want to begin by saying this. Pleasure reading is like going to the gym because you enjoy how your body feels afterward. You know, going to the gym is a lot of stress. If you're a gym rat or you exercise daily, you know that it's a lot of work. But pleasure reading is when you actually on your own, you enjoy it. You enjoy the pain. You enjoy the seeming pressure, in quotes. You enjoy the time that it costs you, everything that it costs you to be there, the gym membership, everything, because you love how your body feels afterward. So you go willingly. Your body cooperates with you. However, pressure reading is like being dragged into prison exercise. It is the same movement you make. It is the same exercise. But guess what? Different nervous system response. That's what we're talking about. Same activity, different experiences. Completely different outcome. Let me paint another picture to you. Pleasure reading is like eating when you're relaxed. Digestion works. Everything just goes to the right places. But you see, when it comes to pressure reading is like eating while being chased. Just picture it. You are on your marks. You are running and you are eating. Guess what? Digestion will slow down. The brain cannot, in like manner, the brain cannot digest information when you are going to your books like you are being chased. When you are in survival mode, the same mode that they kept you in years back when they forced you to read. So you are being chased to read. Interestingly, dear busy professional, this is not about reading anymore. Today's conversation is not about reading more books. No, it's about reading without pressure. Is it possible to read without pressure? Absolutely. That is how reading should be. If you are a gym rat or you do exercise and you don't do it with pressure, then you can understand better what I'm talking about. See, the truth is, there are about 5 core differences, 5 core different things that play out each time you do pressure reading versus what happens when you do pleasure reading. And number 1 difference is the entry point into your brain. Write it down. There's a difference in the entry point into the brain. So pleasure reading enters the brain differently from the way pressure reading enters the brain. When you're reading from a place of pleasure, your brain experiences that whole encounter through curiosity. The entry point for pleasure reading is curiosity. It's pleasant to you. But you see, pressure reading enters through obligation. It's as if your brain is being forced. So whilst curiosity is saying, oh, let's explore this book, obligation is saying, you must finish this. You must finish it. So guess what? The brain does not resist information. What the brain resists is force. It's force. The whole force playing out that your brain is saying no, 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 is resisting it. Your brain is resisting it. The brain does not resist information. All those, I think it's because it's still has some glitches, really. Wow. So I'm just taking a pause to see if it's going to get any better. Is it better now? Please let me know. So the truth is, it is your same brain, but guess what? It's better now. Okay. It is the same brain, but guess what? It's different entry point. And it's the entry point that determines how your brain will take that reading exercise. Pleasure reading activates what we call the parasympathetic nervous system. And the parasympathetic nervous system is the calm part of the brain. It is the learning state of the brain. See, your brain doesn't learn anything in panic. It doesn't. It doesn't. It hardly does learn anything that goes into long-term memory. That's why people read the same you that read a 600-page book to pass exams when the lecturer says, if you don't read this book, you're not going to pass my exams. You have to do it. Finish 600-page book in 3 nights. Went to write the exam. Do you know that, yes, you came out A+ in that exam, but today you can't remember one thing from that book? Yeah. You can't remember one thing from that book. Oh, thank you, precious. You can't remember. Can you relate? Please let me see the comment section. I can relate, coach. However, that's your storybook, Things Fall Apart, that your dad just bought and kept somewhere in the bookshelf. And, you know, there was just this holiday going on for you. And you just went ahead and you started reading it because, well, you had just finished junior WAEC or maybe senior WAEC. And then you're just there. And one beautiful Wednesday afternoon, everyone had gone out. You were just waiting for your parents to come back in the evening and your siblings. I just said, okay, let me just flip through this book. It's been 24 years. You cannot forget the story in Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart. You can relate. Thank you, Mr. Chris. God bless you. Let me see in the comment section, I can relate. You cannot forget Popo Hibiscus. You can't forget it. You still remember the story layer by layer. All those Yosimbi goes to school, Ade goes to school, all those stories, those folktales you read then, you can't forget. Tales by Moonlight. You cannot forget it. However, that book that you were forced. And interestingly, the Things Fall Apart, you didn't write exam with it too. You can relate. Thank you, precious. Thank you. I can relate to the comment section. The Things Fall Apart, Chinua Achebe's books, those books you read for fun. You didn't do any exam with them. So you were not given A star. However, you can't forget. Oh, great. Ivy, thank you. You can relate. You can't forget anything there. But that one that he forced you, you can't remember anything. Why? the difference, number one difference between pleasure reading and pressure reading is the entry point. Pleasure reading activated enters through the parasympathetic nervous system. That is where learning happens because that place is calm. It's calm. Oh, somebody can remember purple hibiscus. Yes. Meanwhile, pressure reading enters through another entry point. It enters through what we call the sympathetic nervous system. Now, in the sympathetic nervous system is where fight or flight happens. So you see, even the knowledge entering through that part is already in fight or flight. So when it enters I'm back. Oh, Mr. Chris, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. I think it's better now. So I was talking about this. Can I be seen and heard though? Is it better now? Let me know. Is it better now? Okay, thank you. So I was talking about the Sunday night reader. And I said, because your brain is having a memory that is called the state-dependent memory, what happens to the Sunday night reader? You know the Sunday night reader that says, so you know what? Sunday night, after church, I'm going to go for a nap. After my nap, I will have a 2-hour read. And that is enough for me for the week because Monday to Saturday, I'm so busy, I can't read. Dear Sunday night reader, let me tell you what happens to you. Sunday evening, you say it's your reading time. But guess what? Sunday night comes with anxiety about Monday. So you want to read, but your state, your mental state is not there. So what happens is you begin to experience anxiety about Monday, unfinished tasks you need to do before Monday, mental fatigue, pressure reading steps in. Even if your intention to read is good. So you begin to see short attention span, little retention, growing resentment towards books start building up. Why? Because your brain is state dependent. Your brain keeps information based on the state of your mind, not the information alone. It's not about information, it's about emotions. It's about emotion. So the first difference is the entry point. The second difference is memory access. The third difference is avoidance response. If you're just joining in, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Thank you for joining in today. And yes, we go live Mondays to Fridays at 1 p.m. West African time. Saturdays at 7 p.m. West African time. If you're just meeting me, hello, I am Leslie Grace, the Confidence Coach. I help you master confidence smartness through smart reading, smart thinking, and of course, smart speaking. Thank you for joining in today. Number 3, avoidance response. Have you shared this live with somebody? Can you see there's so much value I'm giving you for free? Well, thank you. Donation. Number 3, avoidance response. Here is what most people don't realize. What most of us don't realize is that, hello, Veronica. Hi. Your brain learns patterns. The brain is a pattern-making machine. Your brain is a pattern-making machine. That is why if every time you pass through a particular area, there is one thing that happened around that area, when you pass through there again, pattern will flow. Your brain will just paint it like that thing wants to happen again, right? And so you don't want to, so because your brain is a pattern-making machine. I shared with us a story yesterday of how my little toddler wanted to come close to the iron I was using, and the heat from it, she felt it, even though she was still a bit far away. She felt that heat and she ran off. Now, her sister was telling her, go, you said you wanted to iron mommy. She didn't want to go back there again because the moment she tried to come again, the brain made a pattern to remind her this is. So you see, your brain learns patterns. Now, how does this apply to us? The difference between pleasure reading and pressure reading is that avoidance response is different. So if reading, for instance, repeatedly happens under pressure, the brain begins to learn books equals pressure. So the next time you open a book, even when you're in your most relaxed state, resistance will show up before you start. Resistance can show up as, go and check that your jollof rice. Are you sure they have not finished it? Now you want to read, go and collect that rice before they will finish it. Resistance could show up as, Mr. Chris sent you an email. You haven't replied. Quickly go ahead. Resistance can show up as Precious called yesterday morning. Have you responded to the call? You missed the calls. Resistance will just show up. And no, it's not rebellion. No, it's not even procrastination. No. It is learned avoidance because your brain is a pattern-making machine. Think of a child that's learning to walk. No child learns to walk out of pressure. Remember, no child. No child learns to walk out of pressure. They learn to walk because they feel safe. And you know, that's why some children walk faster than the others. Because if a child is learning to walk in an environment where, whoo, this child is walking, you begin to clap, they begin to cheer on that child, they begin to encourage the child, go, David, go, David, oh, David, you can do it. You can see that that child begins to learn that it feels safe, it feels playful, it feels rewarding. So your child just learned to walk. It wasn't pressure. And do you know that one of the most difficult things to learn on earth is learning to walk? It's not even learning to read every day. Do you know what it took that baby you to learn to walk? No, picture it for a moment. Picture it for a moment. Yes, environment, thank you. Picture it for a safe space. Learning always requires pleasure first. Learning always requires pleasure first. Your brain will either associate learning with pleasure or the opposite. No middle ground. No middle ground. So if pressure is already existing or had existed in time past, there's no way you will not struggle. There's no way you will not struggle. Difference number 4, consistency pattern. Consistency pattern. Pressure reading creates a consistent pattern as well. Yes. There's also a consistent pattern with pressure reading. So guilt, from guilt, there will be all or nothing cycles. People who do pleasure reading don't do all or nothing cycles. Let me even talk about that. Yeah. When reading has become a thing of pleasure for you, when you look at your schedule, you know, there's one of the guides that we gave to Book Bingers 2026, part of the 11 in 1 bundle, is the 12-minute reading system. And in that guide, I was sharing with them how 12 minutes, 12 minutes, 12 minutes is all you need. With 12 minutes, you can do a book a week or year round. Yes. And the 12 minutes, you don't even need it in a row. You don't need to sit and just do 12 minutes. In fact, one of the guides we did was reading through the shifts. And I wrote it for the professional who works through shifts. So you are at work 5 days, you are off 2 days. How can you read every day? I made a guide for you, step by step, with a schedule clearly done, like done for you kind of thing. Now, because when Book Bingers saw it, of course, after induction, a lot has happened to them. They felt a breath of fresh air. They're like, reading can be this pleasurable. Why? See, pressure reading looks like all or nothing cycles. And that's why you are finally gotten to the nothing cycle. You don't know when last you read. Why? Pressure. Pressure gives you guilt. It translates to all or nothing. It translates to long breaks. You say, you don't understand, coach, I'm relocating. That's why. That's why. Let me just take a break. Let me just take a break. A break? There's never a break in life. Yeah? Because nature abhors vacuum. Before you know it, the two minutes you were supposed to be using to slot in your reading, social media will hijack it. Social media will hijack it. Social media will hijack it. And then before you know it, from long breaks, you now begin to do quiet quitting. You quietly quit. And you say, this reading is not for people like us. We are too busy to read. You will not understand my schedule. But you see, do you see that pressure reading has given you a consistency? Yeah, there's a circle. Guilt, all or nothing, long breaks, quiet quitting. Back to the cycle. Guilt, the year has begun. You have gone to buy 10 books you want to read. Have you healed from pressure reading? Have you found a space to tell yourself, I don't want to read from pressure? The pressure I faced years back as a child, I want to heal. I want to heal. Yes, Veronica, there's no break. There's no break. Others are taking a break. Nature abhors vacuum. Do you know most of us took a break? And of course, well, we just went in that space here. Because as a book binger, you will read on Christmas Day, yes. And it will not alter any aspect of your life. Trust me, I've done this for years. Not alone. I've held busy professionals do it. It's what I do for a living. It's what I will do till Jesus comes. Right? But the truth is, you now say, no, it's Christmas Day. No, let's just go and check your screen time on Christmas Day. Go and check it. So there's no vacation. There's no break in life. Nature was vacuum. But you see, pleasure reading, when you have healed from reading trauma, when you have healed from all of the harmful experiences, the first reading that happened to you, your parents forced you. They say, if you don't read, if you don't come out A star, you're not my child. So you are reading under pressure. When you heal from that, it's going to be 3 days. In January, that's the first course in the academy every year. Healing from reading trauma course. You need to heal. You need to break away from the place where reading is pressure to the place where it is pleasure. But pleasure reading has a consistency. Number one in that consistency circle of pleasure reading is ease. It becomes easy peasy. Number two is short sessions. Like you are okay with 2 minutes of reading, just so that you don't get into doom scrolling. So that you don't fall into that place of doom scrolling. You're okay with your short sessions of reading. The next thing is, even the day you fall, naturally you can return. You know, one of the things I wrote for Book Bingers is the reading restoration letters. Because you may fall. But yes, there's an acceptance to say, okay. You know the way you loved swimming, and then life got busy, you couldn't swim. You easily come back. You pleasurably come back. Pleasurably. A natural return happens. Long-term consistency, that is how it is established. So you move from ease, short sessions, natural return, long-term consistency, locked in. But this comes from a place where you are healed. Today, what I see is that the average busy professional abandons over 60% of their books, even though they start them. But you know, while I was doing this research, I found out that it's not because they are busy. It's not because of difficulty. It's because of emotional fatigue, trauma, reading trauma. You ran away from your book. You ran away. You ran away. Pleasure reading is how you begin to come back to that healing. You know what Matthew 11 says? It says, come unto me, O ye that are heavy laden. He said, for my yoke is easy, my burden is light. How can you make the burden of reading heavy? You run away now. God never designed growth to happen under crushing pressure. Write it down. God never designed growth to happen under crushing pressure. He says, my burden is light. And you know what God's burden is? God's burden is growth now. I wish above all things that you prosper. That's his burden. That's his greatest burden about you, is that you prosper. Is that you make wealth. Is that you progress. Is that you have sound health. Is that you have soul prosperity. However, he said, you see, this is my burden. It's light. You see, this yoke is easy. God never. So you see this growth that you want to grow. You have set reading goals. Hey, you have read more books. But you are carrying this pain of unfinished books since last year. Growth cannot happen under crushing pressure. God never designed growth to happen under crushing pressure. Finally, difference number 5. Long-term identity. See that pressure reading that happened to you over time. There is a long-term identity. It has ingrained in your subconscious. Let me show you the signs. Number 1, I'm inconsistent. If you've ever used this phrase, just know that pressure reading has ingrained in you a name, an identity, a signature. If you've ever used this other phrase, I can't finish books. Aha, that's you. That's you. Pressure reading has left an identity in you. You've ever said, reading is not for me, it's not for me, it's not for people like us. No, it's not for me. Pressure reading has left a name with you. But you know, yes, growth was never designed to happen under pressure. Thank you. But you know the truth. Your brain was never taught to feel safe while learning. And that's what the Healing from Reading Trauma course will do. We want to teach your brain to feel safe while learning. To feel safe while learning. Because the race is not to the swift. And wisdom must be gotten. He says, in all you're getting, get wisdom. What is wisdom? The application of knowledge. How do you apply what you don't know? How do you apply what you don't know? Oh, God, give me wisdom. It's a good prayer. But wisdom is simply the right application of knowledge. So if you're praying for wisdom, you should be reading. It is from the books you read that you not get the right application, yeah? Striving without getting a place of pleasure will end up in another year that doesn't produce fruit. Vanity. What if the reason reading stopped working is because pressure entered the picture? Just what if? What if? There's no what if. I'm telling you, yes, that's what happened. Reading became a burden because pressure entered the picture. Your brain has been protecting you. That's why it's running away from books. It's not discipline that you need. There's a missing piece. Healing, safety. So I need you to hear this carefully. You don't need more books. So even the books you went to buy, you don't really need them. Because you already have some unfinished books on your shelf. You don't need more motivation as well. And worse still, you don't need more pressure. You don't need it. You don't need it. Because when pleasure returns, clarity will come, confidence will come, results will follow. So this is not about reading more. It's about you healing from reading trauma. And yes, the Healing from Reading Trauma course is open. Details will be shared in our community on YouTube. Send us an email to thesmartspeakersacademy@gmail.com to get details. thesmartspeakersacademy@gmail.com. Or simply just comment under this video, read, and we'll give you access to the Healing from Reading Trauma course. Follow us on our social media system, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, at The Smart Speakers Academy to get all the details that you need to join the Healing from Reading Trauma course. As of today, it is still on the early bird discount, 99999. That's 9,999 naira, and you can get access to the course. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. We're still talking about everything that you need to read and smash your reading goals in 2026. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. This is The Smart World.